Friday Live. I'm ticking my box for accountability and logging on Friday. Can you believe it? So, my recent posts have been targeting that idea of community, connection, collaboration. And obviously, there's a really strong reason behind why that is so important currently, because most of the people that come to me for coaching are suffering. I say suffering, but maybe they're just questioning and they're not actually aware of it, which is why they have these questions and this uncertainty around their purpose, their sense of belonging, their identity. Some of them have got this very strong identity that does not support them whatsoever. And we talk about that and we challenge that and we reassess how they see themselves. But the theme is ultimately, it is about that idea of defining community, defining connection, and defining collaboration. And unfortunately, and this I'm seeing this so much recently, we have very vague definitions of belonging to a community. We have very vague definitions of what it means to connect with somebody. And when we talk about it, it is very fluffy. It's very, oh, I've got this great connection. And, the reality is when something goes wrong, you realize that that connection is not what you thought. And again, many of my clients went through that not so long ago when what they perceived as deep, meaningful connections with people became shattered virtually overnight. And they realized that what they thought was deep and meaningful was actually not. And I experienced it myself personally with a couple of my friends. And it's really disruptive, right? Because suddenly everything that you believe, you are questioning. And, we're seeing that on a grand scale too, aren't we? It's not just about questioning our connections, it's questioning everything about our existence. And, we hear jokes, I'm hearing jokes, and I'm hearing some people getting quite upset about it. This idea of going down the rabbit holes and opening loads of cans of worms are popping open right now. And I think the important thing for me to share right now is get clear on what certain stuff means to you. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Get clear yourself. And then once you're clear about what it means to you, you are then in a better position to connect with people who have similar definitions of what you're talking about. And I am the first person, gosh, I'm going off on tangents here. I'm the first person to say mix with a variety of people. My life is extremely varied. I mix with a variety of people because of my interests and my passions for different things. But I also actively seek out people who have values that are aligned with mine because that is where I satisfy my need for deeper, meaningful connections. So and I think I heard this a long time ago about relationships. It's very hard for one person to fulfill your every need. We might dream about it, we might fantasize about it, that perfect person. If only we had them in our life, everything would be fine. And I think the sooner that we wake up to this idea that different people fulfill different needs in our life, and I'm definitely addressing that, right? Um, and understanding that it is our role to actively seek those connections. It's not about waiting for people to front up. Right. I'm fresh back from the gym and I've just got a bit of a sniffle. And well, not a sniffle, I've just got I'm just trying to breathe. Um, so yeah, it's our job to actively seek out those people. So when I talked about community and the community that I have started online outside of Facebook, that is a conscious that was a conscious decision, and I'm thinking about how I can provide material and resources that reflect that idea that this is a place where people can feel safe to connect and share like-minded stuff, that it's about growth, it's about connection, it's about contribution. And my definition of community encompasses that idea that people feel heard, valued, but also there's something in it for them in terms of resources, or maybe at events, workshops, lives. So I am sharing my definition of community, connection, and collaboration so that people who see my material, if it resonates with them, then that's obviously something that they're going to connect with and maybe feel that they want to join. So I'm encouraging you to check out this community. You can click on the link below. It gives you your own login, and it is a separate entity to Facebook. So if I've just got the dog annoying me here, if it's got if Facebook crumbles or if Instagram goes under, I don't lose you. And I think this was another important thing for me, that idea that you have got something that is evolving over time and is not sort of hanging on a thread depending on what happens with Facebook and the world and the state we're in. So my message today is clear on language, clear on definitions, because with clarity, as we know, and I think it's Dean Graziosi, you know, clarity is power. Maybe it's Tony. Clarity is power, okay? And we're not talking about power over people. We're talking about power over yourself and your ability to then go out and connect and understand where you sit in relationship to the language you're using and the meaning that you give certain words. And I mean, I'm just dealing with an amazing situation at the moment where people are bandying around words that they have no clarity around definition. And it has created an absolute monster, because people are using terms and then actively demonstrating in their the way that they conduct themselves that they have no understanding of that word. And I think, you know, this is where we start to be challenged by that idea that, you know, I remember somebody said years ago, language, as long as you're communicating your point. And I go, yeah, okay, but you might think you're communicating your point, but unless the other person has got the same definition as you, this is why we end up in so many problems, because people don't have the same definition. And, you know, some of the classics that are surfacing right now are things that are causing problems because people have different understandings of what those words mean. So get clear on what community means to you. What does it mean to belong to a community? Get clear on what connection is. Is it just being able to pick up the phone and have a chat with somebody? Or is there something deeper? And dig into it. I really encourage you to dig into it. How do you know when you feel truly connected to somebody? Is it the topic of conversation? Is it the fact that you relate to the experiences that they've had, or is it the fact that they relate to your experiences? I don't know. It's going to be different, but it's going to give you that ability to know where you feel that sense of belonging and where to seek it and how to activate it, how to actively seek it, rather than pray and hope that somewhere along the line you manage to connect with somebody. Take action, take charge, and remember that it is about what you do, not what you say you do. So I'm going to share the link. I would love to have you there. Next week, I am offering this community a special Zoom session to meet and to discuss, and for me to share some stuff, but also for them to, or for you, if you join, to contribute and to maybe get clear on what you would like in that community and how it can evolve as a group over time. It was something that was really encouraged in the online training I did. And it is a work in progress, and I'm having to acknowledge that. I mean, I'm rapt to have, I think I've got 20, 21, 22 people who have taken that step to engage. And my next challenge is to get them to engage more. You know, how do we encourage people to feel safe, connect, communicate? And it's something that I believe we don't do very well in New Zealand. I think there's a lot of cultural baggage around how we interact, and I have actively sought to challenge that myself and to go, what am I doing to create connections with other people? What am I doing to communicate in order to be able to feel a sense of belonging and a sense of connection and a sense of community? Have a fantastic weekend, guys. I'd love to hear your comments on anything to do with the topic of community, connection, collaboration, anything to do with language and definitions. How has that shown up in your life? And don't forget the opportunity to connect in this community for free and join me next week. I believe that I will be sharing the link in the community. I want people to join it. So if you want to get on a live Zoom and see what it's all about, join the community. Catch up with you soon.